So, good day, sir. I am Denise Lamdagan. I am going to present the study of Karen B. Perdonia and Clea and V. Corseca, which entitled Growth and Root Development of Different Corn, Zea Maize, Varieties Fertilized with Different Nitrogen Fertilizers Grown in Alkaline Soils. So, first we have here my topic outline, the introduction, materials and methods, result and discussion, conclusion, recommendation, and then the references. So let's go first to the introduction. So corn or Zea mays L is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide in the Philippines. Much of global corn production occurs under suboptimal environmental conditions, making crop resilience and adaptability increasingly important. Corn production in the Philippines, particularly in Cebu, where the study is conducted, plays a vital role in food security, local consumption, and farmers' livelihood. And, and Cebu's diverse topography and favorable climate support corn cultivation, with improved seed varieties and sustainable farming practices enhancing yields. So, these alkaline soils, limit nutrients availability and negatively affect root growth and crop performance. So these soils are rich in calcium, magnesium, potassium, but often deficient in iron and manganese due to high soil pH. So alkaline soils such as those found in Bareilly, Cebu present challenges to crop growth by affecting nutrient availability and root development. So, nitrogen-based fertilizers or the ammonium-based fertilizers help address alkaline soil problems by lowering soil pH through nitrification. So in this study, it examines the effect of different nitrogen fertilizers on root development and growth of two corn varieties in alkaline soil, which is the sweet corn and the native corn. So we have here the materials and methods. So the experimental site, the study is conducted at Cebu Technological University, Baliri Campus, Baliri, Cebu, Philippines. Experimental period is March to June 2024, and the total experimental area is 30 meters by 6 meters. And then the planting materials, two corn varieties used, which is the native corn and the sweet corn. And then direct seedling method is applied, and two seeds planted per hill at 2 to 5 cm depth, and then thinning conducted 7 to 14 days after emergence. And then in the crop management practices, uniform weed management across all plots. First weeding is 20 days after planting, and the second weeding and healing is 40 days after planting, and then additional weeding done as necessary to maintain clean plots. So in the data collected, we have the plant height 30 and 60 days after planting, the root length, root diameter, root dry mass, soil properties, soil pH, the organic. In the soil properties, we have the soil pH, organic such as magnesium, phosphorus, and potassium. And then in the statistical analysis, data analyzed using an analysis of variance or the ANOVA. The ANOVA mean comparison done using Duncan multiple range test or the DMRT, and then level of significance is 0.05, and then analysis use uses and then analysis performed using Sirichai statistic or 7.0 2014. So in the table 1, plant height of different corn varieties at 30 days after planting as influenced by different nitrogen fertilizers. So the result in table 1 shows that the plant height of corn varieties 30 days after planting was significantly influenced by both nitrogen fertilizer type and corn variety. So as you can see, the urea and ammonium sulfate. So different corn varieties show that sweet corn better showed better growth than native corn with both fertilizers, the urea and ammonium sulfate. And we have here the table 2, plant height of different corn varieties at 60 days after planting as influenced by different nitrogen fertilizers. So in the data in table 2 indicates that both the type of nitrogen fertilizers and the corn variety had a significant impact on plant height 60 days after planting. Comparing only the corn variety, sweet corn consistently showed better growth with 90.22 centimeter plant height than native corn with 84.87 centimeter, indicating its superior response to nutrients input. While in the table 3, the root length in centimeter of different corn varieties as influenced by different nitrogen fertilizers. So the table 3 reveals that the root length of different corn varieties was significantly influenced by both the type of nitrogen fertilizer and the variety of the corn. So comparing only the variety, sweet corn demonstrated longer root lengths than native corn with mean root lengths of 45.10 centimeter and 41.10 centimeter respectively. So earlier, the urea has the high is the highest, with is the highest in terms of the plant height, and now among the nitrogen fertilizers, ammonium sulfate had the most pronounced effect on root length with 50.67 centimeters mean, followed by urea and ammonium phosphate. So we have here the table 4, root diameter. So it highlights the effect of different corn varieties, nitrogen fertilizers, and their combined interaction on root diameter. Both individual interaction effects significantly influence the root diameter, as indicated by the mean values and ranking of treatments. So in terms of corn variety, sweet corn exhibit a slightly larger mean root diameter compared to native corn. This indicates that sweet corn has a genetic advantage in developing thicker roots, likely due to its ability to better allocate resources for structural root development. And then we have here in the table 5, uh, it indicates it is the root dry mass, and it indicates the root dry mass is significantly influenced by the individual effects of corn variety and nitrogen fertilizer type, as well as their combined interaction. So comparing only the variety, sweet corn exhibit a higher mean root dry mass compared to the native corn, and then it indicates that sweet corn has a genetic advantage in developing root systems with greater biomass. And also, we have here the table 6. It shows the effect of corn variety nitrogen fertilizers and their combined interaction on soil acidity. So, the mean soil pH values of both varieties were comparable, with native corn resulting in a slightly lower average pH of 7.70 compared to sweet corn at 7.72. And then in the table 7, it highlights the effect of corn variety, nitrogen fertilizer type, and their combined interaction on soil ability. Magnesium, compared only the varieties, sweet corn demonstrated a slightly higher mean soil content compared to native corn. So we have here the data in table 8. The result indicate no statistically significant differences between treatments, but trends highlight variation in soil calcium content influenced by the tested factors. And then sweet corn exhibit a slightly higher mean soil than the native corn. And then we have here in the table 9, In terms of variety again, sweet corn demonstrated a slightly higher mean soil OM content compared to the native corn. So we have here the table 10. So it indicates that although the differences were not statistically significant, certain trends emerge highlighting the rules of these factors modulating soil pH availability. So in terms of variety, ang native corn exhibited a higher mean soil content compared to sweet corn. And we have here the table 11. So although again the differences were not statistically significant, the observed trends provide insight into how this factor influence soil dynamics. So native corn recorded a higher mean soil content compared to sweet corn. So this indicates that the native corn may contribute less to potassium uptake or have root exudation patterns that conserve soil potassium. So before proceeding to conclusion, I will summarize the result and discussion. So in the plant height, sweet corn grow taller than native corn at 30 and 60 days after planting, and then urea produced the tallest plants in both corn varieties, and then ammonium sulfate also improved plant height, and ammonium phosphate resulted in the lowest plant height. In the root length, sweet corn developed longer roots than native corn, and then ammonium sulfate significantly increased root length in both varieties, and then urea improved root length mainly in sweet corn. And then the root diameter, sweet corn had slightly thicker roots than native corn. Ammonium sulfate produced the thickest roots followed by urea. And then phosphate-based fertilizers produce thinner roots. The root dry mass with corn showed higher root dry mass than native corn. Then ammonium sulfate resulted in the highest root dry mass, especially in sweet corn. And then in the soil properties, fertilizers slightly affected soil pH, but soil remained alkaline. Ammonium sulfate helped stabilize soil pH, and then soil nutrient showed trends but no major statistical differences. And then we have here the conclusion. So corn growth and root development are strongly influenced by nitrogen fertilizer type, and sweet corn performed better than native corn under alkaline soil conditions. Urea enhanced plant height while ammonium sulfate improved root development. Phosphate-based fertilizers were less effective in promoting vegetative growth, and then proper nitrogen management is essential in improving corn productivity in alkaline soil. Then in the recommendation, use urea to promote better shoot growth and plant height in alkaline soils. Apply ammonium sulfate to improve root length, diameter, and root biomass. Prefer sweet corn varieties for higher productivity in alkaline soil conditions. And then tailor fertilizer selection based on soil pH and crop variety. And then conduct further studies on yield, long-term, and soil and fertilizer combinations. And then here is the references. Thank you, and that's all.